Hello folks, this is Darren Chang and I'm here to review, or to give you a tour actually, of a photo-specific backpack called the MindShift BackLight 26L. And it comes in this color, which is called Greenfield, and it also comes in a charcoal, which is essentially a gray and black combination. Retails for about 250 bucks. And so let me give you a quick tour of what's going on here. So first and foremost, I want you to take a look at the suspension system, because this is really what sets this pack apart from other photo-specific backpacks that simply don't spend a lot of time focusing in on the suspension system. And it is truly the suspension system that makes these packs so much more comfortable to carry a lot of weight. So if you skimp on this, you can have everything else great on the backpack, but it really won't do much for you unless you have this excellent suspension system. And what you'll see here is that they have here a hip belt. It's not just sort of a waist strap, it's a legitimate hip belt with padding, and it's got a good 1.5 inch width webbing here and a pretty beefy Fastex buckle to hold it all together. It's completely adjustable. You'll also notice that the shoulder straps here have webbing loops in them, so you can attach accessory packs to this, maybe something for a cell phone perhaps. And also the padding itself is perforated to allow it to be pretty breathable. And you'll also notice here that there's a center channel that runs down the center of the back here, the part that actually comes in contact with your back. And this is really important because having the slot open allows you to have your spine basically have relief here, so you don't feel that pressure against your vertebrae. So let's take a look at the sides here. You'll see here that there's a large pocket, and this pocket is big enough so that you can take, what size is this thing? This is probably a 1 liter bottle, and it fits in here easily. Of course, you just have to loosen things up a little bit more than I did. And it does have a bungee cord up here to tighten down a little bit more tightly, as well as a compression strap here if you really want it to be in there nice and hold without it bouncing out if you're trekking. You'll notice too that there's an equivalent one on the other side, but what this allows you to do is if you have a lightweight tripod, you can actually put the tripod in here and then clip this around using the compression strap. I call these compression straps. In reality, they aren't compression because they don't provide compression, because you can't actually make this pack any skinnier. It's what's called a structured backpack, so there's a foam skeleton that prevents it from being able to get any skinnier than what you see right now. And then if you take a look here at the very top of the pack, you'll see here that there's also a compartment. Well, there's a couple things going on here. This part right here, which I'm pulling out, is used to hold a tripod if you're going to put the tripod across this area of the pack. And in fact, it has a pocket down here that swings open that would allow you to put the feet of the tripod into here and then hold on to the head with this strap that is up in this area. Okay, so it holds it onto the front of your bag. Tucks away if you're not going to be using it. There is indeed a zippered pocket up here. Now, it's a pretty big pocket, but you should know that it's pretty shallow too. I mean, you could fit, I could easily put my cell phone into here because it's flat, right? But you're not going to fit much more beyond that. Okay, so maybe you put a boarding pass up here, you could put your wallet, etc., but you're really not going to fit much more than that. And again, that's mainly because, as you'll see in a moment, the foam structure, the sort of exoskeleton or the internal skeleton of this thing, prevents it from really allowing it to have a lot of volume in there. So there's a couple things here. This pocket right here has a zipper that's hidden, and you can put in, and this is big enough, you can see that it's this entire panel right here is a pocket, and the pocket's about 1 inch deep, but it's pretty flexible. I can easily imagine putting a light windbreaker in here, or a thin fleece, maybe a fleece vest into this area. And then if you unzip this section, see, Get it as far down as I can go here. These compression straps kind of act, or they get in the way. You have to actually disconnect them to get access to this. But you'll see this panel is actually pretty good size. Okay, so you can, again, you could actually, if you don't put too much in the front here, you could put a lunch in here if you wanted to. And there's a whole lot going on here in terms of organization. There's a couple slots here for a pen or a stylus. There is a couple slots here maybe for business cards if you want. This, you can see it's labeled here. There's certainly no problem fitting a regular size iPad in this pocket. It goes down to right here. So that's the depth. It goes from here to here. And then behind this, it allows you to fit in, it looks like a 15-inch computer. So I have a MacBook Pro, 15-inch MacBook Pro, and it has no problem sliding in there. It is padded. It's kind of a thin padding, but it is padded. You can see that it fully goes below the edge, holding it in there nice and comfortably. The one thing I will tell you that is sort of a design decision on MindShift's part, I don't know how else they would do this, but having your devices out here so far away from your back, don't forget your back is up against here, having them this far away means that you have a lot of weight that's actually fairly far away from your body. And what that does is it actually makes the backpack feel heavier. Imagine if you were to take all your devices and put it closer to where your back is, it would actually make the bag feel a little bit less heavy because of the cantilever effect associated with that. The design of this pack allows you to be able to get access to your equipment without putting your bag down, like I've done right now. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how this works. When the backpack is accessible without having, or your equipment, I'm sorry, is accessible without having to take off the backpack. So this is how MindShift does it. You unclip the sternum strap if you happen to have this clipped, and you take off both of your shoulder straps. Holding one of them, you swing this whole pack around, and now you can see it sort of cantilevers away from you at your waist at this level. And then you can unzip this back area. You can take out this lanyard, throw it around your neck so that it doesn't close up on you. And then you're able to grab whatever gear you need. And you can, the great thing about this is if you're trying to take off a lens cap and it falls right back into your bag. So it's kind of convenient this way. I will tell you though that obviously it's a little bit big. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're in a crowd with a lot of people, this is making you a lot bigger in terms of your footprint than maybe is possible. So it's not necessarily the best design in terms of how inconspicuous it is. It certainly is not. Not only that, all your gear is completely exposed. So that means thieves can see it. If it happens to be sprinkling out, then rain's going to collect in here. And also know too, as you can see, it's a lot of weight. I mean, I don't really have this thing as filled up as I could right now, but it's a lot of weight that is moving away from me. And I can really feel it digging into my back here as all the weight is forward. Imagine if I had my computer in here, my iPad, all the other things I normally travel with, this could actually be uncomfortable very quickly. And of course, and very easy to zip up those zippers and then throw this thing back around, reattach it, and then once again, you're off. These zipper pulls are great. In fact, all the zippers on the MindShift are awesome. I mean, the zipper pulls, you can have the mittens on and be able to pull those things open. So it's the back panel that opens up. And this is kind of an unusual situation, right? Most of the time, structured packs like this, you have to access your camera equipment from the front. This is from the back, and it opens up like so. And you can see inside, you can divide it up however you want. Now I have this divided up in such a way that it holds my gimbal for when I do video, but obviously this thing can easily fit a lot of camera gear in here. And it's all lined with hook and loop, and they give you tons of dividers, and so they're really, it's fairly unlimited in terms of how it can hold your gear and hold it safely. They also do throw in the rain cover, which is nice, although I just about never use those things. And you'll see here that there are pockets, mesh pockets, so you can see what's in there. Great place to put user manuals, perhaps, SD cards, batteries, okay? Nothing too hard, keep in mind, because your camera equipment is going to hit up against that. So you got to be somewhat thoughtful about what you decide to put in here. And as I showed you earlier, this is where I sort of stash the lanyard that wraps around my neck to hold this open when it's connected to me. Zipper is incredibly easy to open and close, which is highly unusual. That is not usually the case with a lot of these photo backpacks that are so stiff that it's very hard to open and close the bags. All right, so there you have it, the BackLight 26L by MindShift, and I hope this was helpful, give you a good sense of what this bag has to offer to you. See ya.